Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you all are fine and staying home to keep yourself safe from COVID 19. Students, in the previous module, we have discussed about the concept of resources and classification of resources. Here in this module, we are going to discuss about the resource planning and conservation of resources. So, resource planning is widely accepted strategy for judicious use of resources. Unless we plan how to use the resource, we cannot justify that the resources are properly used. It has importance in a country like India, which has enormous diversity in availability of resources. That resources are available highly uneven in different part of the country. There are regions which are rich in certain types of resources but are deficient in some other resources. There are some regions which can be considered self-sufficient in terms of availability of resources, and there are some regions which have acute shortage of some vital resources. Means that some of the resources are having the rich variety of resources, but some places are there in our country, some states are there in our country that are not having the resources which are very important for the development of that area, that state. For example, states of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh are rich in minerals and coal deposits. But do you think that resources are required in these states only? Of course not, that resources are required all over the country for development of the different regions. Arunachal Pradesh has abundance of water resources but lacks in infrastructural development. In Arunachal Pradesh, water resource is very well available, but infrastructural development is not so good as expected. The state of Rajasthan is very well endowed with solar and wind energy but lacks in water resource. You know that Rajasthan major area falls in Thar desert region, and that way water scarcity is experienced severely in that state. The cold desert of Ladakh is relatively isolated from the rest of the country. It has very rich cultural heritage, but it is deficient in water, infrastructure, and vital minerals. So this calls for balanced resource planning at the national, state, regional, and local levels. As here we can see that so much variation is there in the availability of resources and their needs in different parts of the country. So of course we can say there is a need of balanced resource planning at national level, uh, state level, and regional level, even local level also. Now resource planning. How the resource planning is done. The resource planning is a complex process which involves these three major steps. First one is identification and inventory of resources. Identification, you know that survey is done, observation is done. Inventory is making list of available resources across the region of the country, and this involves surveying, mapping, qualitative and quantitative estimation and measurement of the resources available there. Then second step is evolving a planning structure. After identification, whatever type of resources are available that area, making list of that, proper survey and mapping is done, then we need to have a planning structure endowed with appropriate technology which is available and that applicable over the resource available that region. Then skill and institutional setup for implementing resource development plan. So unless we have that appropriate technology, knowledge and skill and that institutional setup, how can we use that resource? How can we make a resource development plan? So this is done at the second step. Then third step is matching the resource development plans with the overall national development plan. That means what kind of need is there of the nation. Accordingly, the resource will be required. If industrialization is going on, suppose a national development plan needs industrialization, tools and machines required, so that way whatever the resources are being used or trying to be discovered, that should be matching with this national development plan. It should not be that national development plan is saying something else and we are trying to search, try to find out a different kind of resource which is not required at present for the national development. So that way both are to be matched. So India has made concerted effort for achieving the goals of resource planning right from the first 5 year plans. So students, you know that for 5 year plans are that 5 year plans which are made from the 1950-51, and that India adopted that 5 year plan strategy that whatever plans are being made that will continue up to the 5 year and then afterward by analysis and observation it will be decided whether to change the plan or some modification required. Now, the availability of resource is necessary condition for the development of any region. This is a fact. Unless that resource is available for the region, the area cannot develop. But mere means only availability of resource in the absence of corresponding changes in technology and institutions may hinder development means the development of that area, that region will be slower, will be a lot with a lot of restrictions, a lot of hurdles. That development will not go properly. There are many regions in our country that are rich in resources, but these are included in economically backward areas. Whatever at the first slide of this module you saw, that Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, and Madhya Pradesh are resource rich, mineral rich states, but that are only included in this economically backward regions. So just availability of resource cannot be guarantee for the development of the region. So on the contrary, there are some regions which have a poor resource base, but they are economically developed. If we take example of our country, that you can see that Delhi, Haryana, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, these are not having that much resources as the Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh are having the mineral resources. But the states like Delhi, Haryana, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, such states are very well developed and much more developed in comparison to these states where resources are very well available. The history of colonization reveals that the rich resources in colonies were the main attraction for the foreign invaders. So it was primarily the higher level of technological development of the colonizing countries that helped them to exploit resources of the other regions. And as at that time it was happening at world level, similarly that are happening in our country at country level, that Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh states are having resources, rich mineral resources, but the different other states of our country developing by using the resources of these regions. Similarly, that happened in the past also, that Britishers developed their technology, and not Britishers only, that all the colonizing countries, whichever were making colonies to the other countries, they developed their technology and they went to the countries where the resources were available in rich quantity, and they exploited the country that resources of that area for the development of their own country. Therefore, resources can contribute to development only when they are accompanied by appropriate technological development and institutional changes. So India has experienced all this in different phases of colonization, no doubt. Therefore, in India, development in general and resource development in particular does not only involve the availability of resource but also the technology, quality of human resource, and the historical experience of the people. We cannot think that just making the resource available or the naturally resources available will be guarantee for the development of the region, as we have experienced through our history, by our history, that along with the technology, human resources are very well important for the development of the region. Now, thinking about the conservation of resources. As you know, resources are vital for any developmental activity, but irrational, indiscriminate consumption of resource and overutilization of resource may lead to socio-economic environmental problem. Socio-economic means social problem, economic problem, and along with this environmental problem, imbalance in environment. To overcome these problems, resource conservation at various levels is important. This had been the main concern of the leaders and thinkers in the past. For example, Gandhi ji was very apt in voicing his concern about resource conservation in these words: there is enough for everybody's need, not for anybody's greeds. Meaning of this sentence is, if we are trying to satisfy needs, of course there is available resources can satisfy the needs of people. Enough resources are available. But you know that greed never ends. If we try to satisfy this greed, in satisfying greed of few people only, very less number of people only, the resources will look insufficient. So that is why Gandhiji said that there is enough for everybody's need, but not for anybody's greed. Means a single person's greed cannot be satisfied, never satisfied. He placed the greedy and selfish individual and exploitative nature of modern technology as the root cause of resource depletion at the global level. Gandhiji said Gandhiji said that whatever resources are available, that are enough. And if the resources are depleting faster, there is looking shortage of the resources. Behind that, genuine reasons are these: greedy people, selfish people, and the exploitative nature of the modern technology by using which we are exploiting the resources with a very fast speed. He was against mass production and wanted to replace it mass production and replace it with production by the masses. See, mass word, both the places have different meaning. At the first place, mass is related to the production in large quantity. Mass is here large quantity, and wanted to replace it with a production by the masses. Masses is here large number of people. So one mass is large quantity of the goods which are being produced, and second is for the number of people. So Gandhiji was against production in mass, means large scale production by using the machines and mills should not be done. Instead, the production should be done by the masses, by the people at small scale, so that more and more people can get employed, can get employment opportunity. And this was needed that time also, and even today it is very well applicable, justified. Nowadays also there is a very high level of unemployment existing in our country, and at that time also in the past there was unemployment problem existing in our country during the British period. At the international level, the Club of Rome advocated the resource conservation for the first time in a more systematic way in 1968. What was it? Subsequently, in 1974, Gandhian philosophy was once again presented by Scamacher in his book The Small is Beautiful. That instead of trying to develop, trying to collect the resources more and more, if we try to be satisfied by using least how much required for us, then that will be good for all. The seminal contribution with respect to resource conservation at the global level was made by the Brundtland Brundtland Commission Report 1987. This report introduced the concept of sustainable development and advocated it as a means of resource conservation, which was subsequently published in a book entitled Our Common Future. Our Common Future. Another significant contribution was made at the Earth Summit at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in 1992, which we discussed in Agenda 21. Now, students, homework for you. Depending on today's topic discussed, Here are few questions which you have to do so that the topic discussed here can be revised by you and can be make you understand better way. Resource planning is essential for sustainable existence discuss, or you can write this as why is resource planning necessary give reasons. Both are similar question. So both of these questions have same answer. Then second question is what do you understand by sustainable economic development? So you have to write the meaning of sustainable economic development. Class 8 also you studied here in this class also you are studying. India has enormous diversity in the availability of resources. Name four varied regions to justify this statement. So how the resource availability has diversity in their availability. You have to write that by giving examples that different states are having of different variety of resources, but in they are rich in some resources and lacking in others. By giving name you have to write. Explain the three stages of resource planning. Very clearly it is given in your book in 1, 2, 3 points. Then planning is widely accepted strategy for judicious use of resources in a country like India. Justify this statement with two relevant points and an example. So this module started with this line only. So see carefully and try to find out answer. Write four factors which determine resource development in a region. That factors affecting the resource development that you have to write here. What do you understand by conservation of resources? So conservation point also we discuss in this module. Why is it necessary to conserve our resources? Give three reasons. So why is it necessary? You have to write 3 points for this. Explain the concept of resource conservation as voiced by Gandhiji. As Gandhiji said, there is enough for satisfying needs, but not enough for satisfying greed. That point you have to explain here. Whom did Gandhiji make responsible for depletion of resources at global level? So there it is given. Both the points are nearby. It is explained in the paragraph. So you have to write from there. Write four institutional efforts made at global level for resource conservation. So that for institutional efforts as given here, this you have to explain here. It is given in your book also. So this was all about for today's topic students. We'll meet in the next module. Till then, bye bye students.